Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. I'm your host, Amy. I also have my co host, Kat L. We are here every single week and we alternate between our channels. This is a live stream that we do permanently for many years now. Hello, Chris and Jen. So today we have a tag, which we turned into a tag plus a related topic because so the tag is called the top 5 luxuries to buy in 2024 by Maddie. She tagged us, and we thought that it would be good to discuss what we feel like luxury has changed in 2024. Everybody's talking about how luxury is dying in 2024 or is changing, and I feel like there's some changes. I don't know if it's dying, but maybe Kat has a different opinion because we both prepare some slides for you. So we'll have a two-part discussion, and she hasn't seen my slides, but they're pretty similar, I would say. So yeah, we'll start off with, and I'll let Kat go first. We'll start off with a discussion on how we feel luxury has changed this year.
I believe it's been sort of in the works, right, since 2023, from the quiet luxury to the firstly the minimalism, right? Everybody's like minimalism. It's always the opposite.
Low buy.
Yeah, low buy, all of that, and then it sort of went into this quiet luxury. So it's a bit of like, you still want to look presentable, you still want to wear the expensive things, but you don't want to have the loud logos. And I think from there, something must have clicked. Like, why even bother with luxury when I'm wearing this same black t-shirt? Yes, it's got Loro Piana on it, but I could be wearing unique clothes. So I feel like there is a bit of this tipping over with the quiet luxury into today's feeling of everybody just like, I don't really need it anymore. I feel that the shift is quite obvious, especially on social media, because a lot of you don't really see flashy or big shows of luxury things. It's more subdued, but in a way that it's almost like people not bothered with it anymore. But that's social media, right? Because that's what we are exposed to. And I feel the gap between social media and the real world, because we talked about it, right? We like luxury, it's really niche. But in the real world, like, not many people truly carry luxury handbags. Like, they just don't. Like, the everyday person is just enjoying their everyday luxuries, everyday necessities. And those that really like luxury, we're sort of like the odd ones, like, oh my god, you're spending so much money on this bag and all that. But I feel like that gap is coming a little bit. Like, people who have overconsumed, they're just like, you know what, I don't want to do it anymore, and they don't want it. And those that are maybe starting out, they are actually really picky because they don't want to spend so much. And those that have not started are just observing. And those that are in the middle, I feel like we're still buying here and there, but also consumption has dropped. I don't think it's dying, but I do think it's normalizing. It's becoming more like the people that really want it will just buy it. For those that are like, I want it, it's a fun catch, especially in the past. Chasing that limited edition is a fun catch. It's not the wisest financial decision to buy a lot of these luxury things. That huge group, which is usually the mass market, I feel like and I'm going to put myself there, we're sort of reflecting of, okay, should I be buying this or should I not? And I'm going to add a little bit more, because the mass market thinks, and I'm included, that if you buy luxury items, you can keep the value of it. You can at least recuperate your base cost, so maybe lose a little bit, but you've enjoyed it. But because the resale market is so bad, it's actually affecting the decision making. It's like, oh wait, I can't even get my base costs, and I've already collected this, collection. Maybe I'll stop. So stop at least for now, or totally change my hobby. So I think it's a mix of things that is affecting the market, but I don't think it's dead. I think people are just pulling back, making different choices, and to some, yes, for them it's dead, but for most, I think um, we're just enjoying what we have and not adding more, which does affect the luxury market.
Mm. Yeah. So like I said, we haven't really discussed what we thought. This is her opinion. I haven't heard
Mhm.
about it. So the way I thought about it, which is, there are many very similar points. The way I was approaching this was, I think back when I first started my YouTube channel. Obviously, I've been buying luxury before that, but when I first started my YouTube channel is when I felt and I discovered this huge community of luxury lovers who share online. Mainly, they just share like the joy of buying something. And I used to remember, at least the OGs back then, they would buy like the trifecta. Like
Mm.
everything they buy, they have to have every print and every color of every style. So you're kind of like, in a way, it's the peak of consumerism, I feel. Also, if we could just even go back a few years ago, huge monogramming, like logo mania was a big trend. And then there was like a lot of collaborations with colorful designs, and some funky stuff. I mean, there's still collaborations now too, but definitely more subdued. And then, of course, when we look at it from the point of view of like, this is kind of like what was the trend of what people were doing, right? But if we attach it to also the economy, like the economy was relatively well back then. And the, the economy, as any financial advisor would tell you, is cyclical, is a cycle. Just like fashion is also recycling, and is this there's a cycle to it. It kind of, it goes up, it dips, and it slows down a little bit, and then it really dips, and then you've got your bull market again. And it's sort of like, even I would say the luxury trend or the luxury behavior of people also follows that, which makes sense totally, right? Because if we come back to even the last couple years, the pandemic, when the pandemic started, obviously people haven't really, like, we haven't really hit a wall yet. Like, people just suddenly were, faced with this, like, all the changes. But at that time, people were still quite enthusiastic about fashion and still buying a lot. And both Kat and I also, right, we kind of also started our Hermes journey around that time. But then as things really catch up to you and the economy catches up to you, then the economy slows down in the recession now, or whatever supposed recession. I don't think it's quite the recession yet, but it's kind of in that path. Then luxury and just the way even fashion houses have been approaching what they do in terms of their designs, and the quiet luxury and all of that coming into place is following the trend of the economy. So I feel like I also don't think that luxury is dying. Maybe because it's following this cycle and therefore we feel like it's dying. I think in terms of our own behavior, and speaking for myself, I've definitely slowed down. Like, I say I slow down, right? But like, I definitely have much slow down in terms of like just the biggest purchases, right? Like the biggest bag purchases, and just not collecting the same number of items, not collecting, but buying, acquiring the same number of items. And every purchase is so much more thought out. But not only that, it's not always about buying, right? It's also about kind of recuperating or recycling what you already have and using that to purchase the new things. Just because at the end of the day, if you are a luxury lover, you're going to keep buying the stuff that you like. There's always going to be new things that you're going to end up liking, but where is that fund going to come from? It's not always going to necessarily come from the savings or the money that you're making from. It's probably coming from recycling your own collection. So I feel like that's how luxury has changed for me. In terms of like the actual big trends, like the logo mania and things like that, I have followed it a slightly. You know, there was a point where I was really into, let's say, the Fendi logo, the monograms, and now I definitely am more into like the solid colors, the neutrals, and buying the classics, and really not care about how, you know, like there's always going to be trendy things and collabs, but I really am not as moved by them anymore. You know, they're cute and we can all talk about it, but I'm not personally as interested. And I think in terms of how I dress as well, like if we talk about even just, I don't know, 5-7 years ago, the big Balmain jacket with the big shoulders, those were so in style. Everybody wants to own at least one of those jackets, or, you know, things that are very kind of like edgy and just, you know, so signature at the time. And now everybody's trying to get rid of it because nobody wants to be so like out there and recognizable right away. Everybody just wants to blend in a little bit more. Like I love just wearing my plain black silk blazer, and it's like comfortable. It's almost like, because it's so comfortable, to me it's almost like my comfortable wear, like my, you know, I can mix athleisure with that, you know, a little tank top, shorts, and I still look put together. And then if I just have one classic bag, which is black, it goes well, right? So I feel like in a way that's my minimalism or my quiet luxury, even though maybe some of the items that I carry is still quite recognizable. But I feel like that's how it's changed, at least for me. And yeah, I don't think it's dying. I feel like it's just a cycle, and it will probably take some time before it's gonna, you know, all these big trends and big logos are gonna come back, big colors. But now, yeah, lots of neutrals and very timeless, solid investment pieces that people are gonna probably end up keeping and kind of recycling some of their collection.
Yeah. I think like for you, I feel the same, Amy. So I'm also going through a bit of like change, right? I've been doing it, getting rid of a lot of things, but there was a few times that I was sort of reflecting on my collection, like thinking, do I really need all these bags? Like,
Yeah.
maybe I should just sell everything. It's
Everything.
almost like sell and keep just the key things, because I was just using, oh my god, let me just show you. I was just
The
using
ones that you actually wear, right? That, I think that's what I am trying. Like I still have a pretty good collection, like not selling everything, but like I feel like the ones that I usually gravitate to are always the same bags. They're always
yeah.
the same ones. And
So
so
this
yeah.
bag, I have to show this bag. This is
Okay.
my like cheapo bag, right? Cheapo bag that I got like a few weeks ago. But I have used this more than I could say even my black box. I haven't touched it. But I find that the reason why it made me reflect on, should I even have these luxury bags, is because the care for them compared to how carefree my mind is using this bag is priceless. Because I don't say I don't care. Well, yeah, actually I don't care about this bag, but because I don't, it doesn't occupy a part of my mind where I'm supposed to be at a client meeting. I need to talk to my team, and I've got so many things. But rather, I'm like so precious, because if I'm bringing my expensive bags to the office or I'm going for a meeting, it's a part of my thought process. If you know what I mean, it's like I have to put it somewhere. Make sure I don't put it behind, don't squash it. It's so subconscious, but it does add an element of my mind. Whereas when I was using this bag or any other of my bags that I sort of just use every day, because they're so integrated to how I use them, means it's a bit careless, I feel so much more free. which comes back to my point of like, do I need this box black Constance?
I mean, it's a good
I mean, I'm
question.
really reflecting on the collection to
Mhm.
make it make sense for me. And it's not about money sitting. I mean, money sitting there, obviously, right? But if I sell it today, I'm not going to recuperate. Well, my bag's still brand new, but I won't, I'm not aiming to make a profit, just get back. But it's not about that. It's sort of, the mindset is sort of like, do I need it? I think a few years ago, where I was sort of like trying to sell them, it's like, oh, I need the money back to get something else. It's shifted from that to sort of, I don't really want this in my house. Like I'd rather have a tighter collection that I can manage, I don't worry about, and truly enjoy. It's not that I don't enjoy having the collection. When I sit down and stare at it, I'm like, oh, so nice. But when I am logical and practical, the question is there. The question is right in my face. Like, do you really need it? So that's when I sort of, depending on the mood, I'll be like, avoid the question.
But it's a valid question to have, although I will ask you this, right? Because this is how you're feeling at the moment. And I honestly feel that it is a cycle, whether you don't think it is or not, because I feel like at one point, like that bag that you just showed, right? It's very useful, practical. You don't have to fuss about it. I have bags like that too. But at the same time, I know for a fact that it's just temporary. Like I enjoyed the like the carefreeness of these bags, but I will miss one day. I will want to come back to certain bags that I do have to baby a bit more, and I just want to look fancy and this and that. So for me, it's not a question of do you need it. It is a question of will you want it, will you want to use it again, or would you want to use it then when that happens, right? I get that everyone's definition of a tight collection is so different. My tight collection is probably still very big, but at the same time, you know, uh, there was still, at least for me, right, personally, there was still a little bit of shift, right? I feel like even my buying pattern, and I noticed that why am I constantly going for neutrals? Well, because neutrals is so easy to dress, and also darker neutrals, especially for you, that bag is really carefree. For me, a black quarter bag or non-quarter bag is still just as easy to take care, at least for me, right? I'm not that scared to use those bags. Obviously, I'm not always going to be using a quarter bag everywhere I go, but for me, those are pretty good. Like, those are pretty safe for me. And so I feel like if I had started my journey even a few years back, I would have gone many more different colors, whereas now I'm way more conservative and just tying that back to the market, right? A lot of you have mentioned, yeah, the resale market is pretty bad right now. It's, well, pretty bad in terms of if you want to resell or recuperate your own stuff, but at the same time, that also changes your own behavior if you're just buying. Like, if you're just buying, say, from the retail space or from your original boutique, that also makes you just go for the neutrals, because if you're going to have to spend the same amount of money, of course you're going to choose the neutrals, right? The harder to get colors. And but yeah, I feel like
It's
it's
changing.
just
Like, I
something.
mean, our conversations definitely have changed. If I reflect back on how we started this luxury live show and we were like all in, right? It's definitely a shift, right? And I totally agree with you about missing some of these bags, which is why I never pulled the trigger. Which is like, I'm not, but it is reflection on whether or not, even in the future, would I come back to this bag, or not this bag, but like the bigger bag. So of course, like, this does not give me that kind of like, I got a Constance, okay? It does not give me that at all. But it's it fits into the current lifestyle. So of course I cannot tell the future. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, when this bag disintegrates, obviously it will, because it's a cheap bag. Would I change again? So it's more of like looking at the current stash
Mhm.
and asking myself this question, like, would I miss it? And would I miss it enough to say, hey, it's okay, sit here while I enjoy the non fussy bags, because I'll come back to you for dinner, for a date, for a fun day out when I want to be bougie. Then it's going through each of them and asking that same question. And there are some bags when and we're gonna do it at the end of this month, right? There's one video on my, I think last week on my channel where we live stream, that the question is, should I sell it? I have a couple of bags that I'm considering, like, yeah, I'm not sure. It's like there, and I'm not, it's not like I just thought about it a day ago. It's been on my mind. So yeah, I it's really reflective of the environment, like current economic state situation, that people just want to be on the lower key, quiet luxury, and just, and then I'm feeling it as well, sort of like getting it, like, maybe I shouldn't. And then personal lifestyle, I haven't been able to use the bags. I don't use it at work. I don't travel with them. So
Mm.
it could be a, like you said, a current situation, but I'm not a young bird. So I mean, like, how many more years do I wait before I use the bag? So it's all that, right? It's really convoluted, but an underlying question is sort of, do I really need it? And it's hard. It's such a
Yeah.
hard conversation to have with yourself.
Yeah. So another point that I wanted to bring up, and then we'll go through the slides. So, which is the tag, the official tag. For me, the way luxury has changed since you brought up social media is how sensitive I feel like the audience is receiving the content.
Oh.
Because obviously it affects us as the content creator, right? We create content that we like, and obviously we share the things that we've acquired, or maybe sometimes there are topics that is talking about like a topic that interests us, or a new collection that interests us that we don't necessarily have yet, but we're interested. But even then, I feel like it's gotten a little bit, not a little bit, it's gotten a lot more challenging because of how sensitive the viewers have become, right? It's kind of like a fine line of like, oh, how much sometimes you almost wonder, like, how much do I share? You know what I mean? Because although the economy is definitely changing, the whole attitude towards and like public sentiment up towards how luxury is received is also different. And although everyone's changing at different paths, my behavior doesn't change overnight, right? Like I've slowed down, but like it's still a pace that I am at for
Mm.
myself, right? And sometimes even before I catch up to the actual content, all that stuff that I had maybe acquired or bought from a period of time is only catching up to, like, like it's not catching up fast enough to what's happening, right? So like there are things that I'm kind of like just keeping at the back of my mind, and I'm like, oh my gosh, should I share this or should I wait? Like there's that kind of a struggle as a content creator anyway, that you don't want to be undersensitive with the public eye, but at the same time it's sort of like, but then you're not really genuine with like, if you were to really just share every time, that's sort of like you're genuine, what's happening real time, right? If not, then it becomes like you're always not stopping yourself, but you're always sort of like second guessing yourself. And so yeah, for me that may be a more harder thing for me to manage, because at the end of the day, how I dress up and how I show up in my neighborhood, I don't care how people look at me, right? Like most people don't really actually know me, but on the public eye, I'm a little bit more sensitive as to like, oh, like, do I share this now? Do I talk about this now? You know? And yeah, that's been a little bit difficult for me.
Yeah, content is hard now, but it's difficult. And I actually watched two. I can't remember the first YouTuber, but one YouTuber just recently said that she's changing her channel.
Oh, someone that we know?
Yeah, Lala Shaw.
Oh,
Lala.
okay. Oh,
Did you watch like her recent?
I
She
didn't watch. I think I saw her
thumbnail.
Instagram feed or something that she mentioned something like that. Yeah.
So I think the title of her video is "I privated my videos" or something like that. Like and she shared that she's not going away, but she's taking a shift towards books.
That's very nice. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I will always have passion for luxury, for fashion. So I will always be talking about it because that's something that I've loved for the longest time. What I meant about like stopping myself sometimes or delaying certain content, it's, for example, right? Just an example. I have been rehoming some stuff, but I haven't talked about it at all. Like, I just feel like people don't receive that very well. A lot of people don't receive that kind of very well, and I am not ready for the criticism. Like sometimes I'm just like kind of not ready for it. I just don't want to hear it, and so I don't want to make the content about it. Although I know it would have been a lot useful for a lot of people because a lot of people want to know, so do you still love the bag? Why is it not in your collection anymore? Like I haven't made one update on that front for a while. It's because I am feeling a bit sensitive about it, and it is what it is, right? Because at the end of the day, yeah, as much as as much as the public can,
Maybe we should do it in a live, because I think I've sold some stuff. Like, we'll do like part 1, Amy, what did you sell? And let me be like, oh, yes, good girl, sell that bag.
how is that different from like filmed content? It's still sharing the same stuff.
Yeah, but it's in a live and people can, have live reactions. Because I've sold a few things, but it's just that I don't have bags to sell.
I mean, that's just an example of what I meant in terms of like me holding back a little bit sometimes because because the luxury sort of scene is changing. It's holding me back for certain things that I don't really want to share yet, or I'm holding back to share and waiting. So
and we'll block trolls, moderate them out. Like, how could you sell that blog?
All right. Okay. Well, without further ado, let me share the screen.
Can I share something before you go? Wait.
Of course.
Can I just tell you I'm upset?
Oh my gosh. I've been seeing the Instagram on this little puppy. What is it?
It's okay. I have to say, when it first came out, I thought it was the ugliest piece of thing ever. Okay, it's so off. Like I was like, oh, what is this? And obviously, I was being the snob, right? Because I was like, it looks like a troll. It looks like a rabbit.
It looks like a rabbit, which I own.
Yeah, rabbit, troll, gremlin.
Oh, is it?
But then, okay, so then I was talking about it, and then one of my colleagues bought it for me because it was really a surprise, right? Because you can't buy them. You can buy them from resellers, and they'll obviously sell it so expensive. And then so I was like, oh, thanks. Okay, I was just kidding. But when I opened it and I touched it, I was like, okay,
wait. Where like I've seen this on Instagram, like everywhere, but is it a brand? What is it? Like
it's part of Pop Mart. Okay, Pop Mart. Apparently, it's Pop Mart. I've been seeing a lot of it, but I didn't know it's exploding. So let me tell you. Okay, once you touch it and you squeeze it, you'll get it, okay? Because it's like your childhood soft toy. It's so soft. It's
Okay.
like it's like yeah. So
It's
now
pretty cute.
I'm obsessed. Okay, I'm so obsessed. I am obsessed. I actually when I opened it, I was like, I need to buy clothes for it now. So
Oh my gosh.
it's cute. Yeah, so it's cute and yeah. I apparently it's so insanely popular that you can't even buy it online. People line up like crazy to
Oh.
buy it, and I was like, maybe I'll be there to line up. But you
Oh.
just can't get it. Now, what they did was what was brilliant. Okay, brilliant is the chase. So you can buy individual boxes and you open it, but then you can also buy what they call a blind box. So a box of like a big box, like a carton of six of these. But each of them is not the same, they're slightly different. But if you buy that blind box, out of the six, there's one special one. So there's one special one that not all boxes have it. So you might get lucky to get what they call the secret. So I think the basic box is like sort of like these colors: pastel blue, pastel green, pink, very light colors. But the secret one, like the one box, is brown, like brown, really rich
Okay.
brown color. So yeah, that is the trick. So now people are chasing the blind boxes. They're called blind boxes because you don't know what's in where the secret is. So some of them will buy 4 or 5 boxes if you can get it,
Oh my
just
god.
to get that brown guy.
Wow.
I'm obsessed. Like if I can buy it. Okay, Lance, the Labubu blind box. It's about so maybe about $130. It's not that expensive.
For
If you can
6?
get the for 6. Yeah, it's about
Okay.
450 ringgit. Yeah, about 150 or 140, 150 Australian dollars, Sing dollars.
Oh
Um,
my god.
it's not so much of the price when you buy it, but you can. They sell for triple the price in the resale market.
Oh wow.
Still cheaper than a rodeo though, so I might actually do it. But
I
you
had
have to
no.
be careful if you buy them online, like not from the store.
Right.
There are freaking a lot of fakes. Yes.
Wow.
Be careful when you buy them. So there's a like this one I know is real because there is they have the when they shine money, the UV light.
Yeah.
There's the UV light here, the tag, I've checked it because you don't know, right? So but
Oh my god, seriously? Is it in Asia only? Because I honestly, the reason why I learned about it is because I keep seeing on Instagram. I had no idea what
because
it
of
was.
Lisa Blackpink
Of course, it's
had a
Blackpink.
she showed on her TikTok or something the blind box, and this Labubu apparently has been around for a while already.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
new. It's been a while, but yeah. I feel so in trend, because I was carrying and
Yeah.
like little girl, like little young Gen Zs were like, "Oh my gosh, you got Labubu." I'm like,
Really? Oh
"Yes,
my gosh. I had no
yes,
idea.
look at my Labubu."
That is hilarious.
I
Well,
know.
congrats. It's actually really cute. When I
Yeah,
saw
the
it,
more
I
you
just
look
thought,
at
"Oh,
it,
some bunnies." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, bunnies. I like bunnies." 'Cause I had a bunny. I had 2 pet bunnies, right, when I was young, so it reminded me. But then I had no idea what it was other than it's like a cute toy, I don't know, charm, whatever thing.
you Lens, you can't get it anywhere.
Interesting.
If you just Google like a Labubu launch Pop Mart and you look at the line, do you know that they actually launched this box in Malaysia? They opened a new shop and they had to close down part of the mall and they had to have police because the
Wow.
line was just crazy and people were fighting because you're like in my line because just what right. So my colleagues were like, can you please wear your mask? put your sunglasses on just in case you fight with someone. And I'm like, yeah. The
Well,
craze is insane.
Actually, now that you brought that up, because I feel like luxury has changed and people are focusing instead of it used to be we line up for Chanel launch or whatever, right? Now you line up for little trendy things like this, which I don't even know how to call, but
Which
like,
makes me so happy.
you line up for like collabs at Uniqlo or like whatever, like things that are definitely accessible, not luxury pricing. And I feel like that's what's kind of changed a little bit too. Like people are not as, they don't do the I as far as I also don't line up, I mean, I haven't been to Chanel in forever, but also if there was a launch, I wouldn't line up for it anymore. I used to do that. So yeah, that has changed as well a lot from before. Since you talked about lineups. Oh my god.
I'm Joe's like, buy the buy box with you. No, I am this close, to buying it because but I don't know. I don't know. So I might do it. I might just tell my colleagues, especially in Malaysia, can you just go look for me one box? I'll buy it. I can't take it. I didn't know.
Yes.
And I have another friend who is crazy about it as well, right? Said that he was telling me, like, he said he's so obsessed. He doesn't understand why. It's so the thrill of getting the box and opening the package. So let me show you where's my box? Okay, anyway, it's a little box. Ripping it, and okay, I have to show you. Wait.
But yeah, while you go look, right? Lining up for food, like specialty food, croissants, totally, I get that. That one I did not know. $2.99 Trader Joe's bag. Seriously? Kim? What? We don't have a Trader Joe's here, but we do go to the one in Bellingham. But yeah, it's for lining up for things like that. Recently, it was for the Cause collection at Uniqlo, just launched a few weeks ago. Sneakers launch. Although that has died down a little bit as well, because even this time around, the Cause collection didn't sell out in store like it used to. Back then, just the time before that, so it was just last year. It could have been fall last year or spring or fall. Sold out in store.
Found it. Okay, so this box, okay, it looks like that. So when my friend gave it to me, I was like, but. And I analyze it because I'm this kind of person. Like, why is the craze? Like, why am I suddenly obsessed with it? So first you rip it out, and you go like, okay. So you see, they'll tell you what the dolls you'll get, and then there's this one guy here called Secret, right? Secret, and you're like, okay. So the regular edition, you get 1 of the 6, and then the Secret is every 1 out of 72.
Oh.
So means 72, you got to buy like 12 boxes or something like that. Every 12 boxes you get, you might probably get 1 Secret, right? So anyway, so now I'm like, maybe. So even before I opened it, I was like, maybe mine's the Secret. Then I opened it. Okay, open it, and then it's inside a plastic like this.
Oh.
Okay, and then you're like, oh, okay, the Secret's right in front of you. It's super cute. And like, okay, maybe it's the Secret. And I rip it out, and you're like, oh, damn it. I mean, not damn it, but like, oh, okay, it's not the brown one, right? It's this color. But then you touch it, and you're like, wow, this is soft. This is like pet fur, but even soft. It's so soft.
Okay, there's no way. I owned a dwarf rabbit before. It's super soft. There's no way it can be that soft.
You know what? It feels like rabbit fur. You're right. It feels like it.
Is it fur?
It's not. It's just so velvety, soft. I can't tell you. And then it's a little squishy, and it's got a little feet and hands, and you're like, oh man, shit! I'm addicted now.
You converted.
I got it. What? Then I texted my colleague and I was like, what have you done? What have you done? And then they got little cards like this, like trading cards. Plus they got names for your doll, and they got clothes.
Right.
If you knew what I bought, I will do a video. I bought so much clothes for this dang Labubu. She's even got a Chanel bag coming, okay?
Oh my gosh. Wait, are those from the legit company, or is it just
No.
third
They're
party?
like
Oh,
Taobao, Shopee
I
stuff.
see.
Because the
Yeah.
moment I posted this, I had my whole message, like DMs were attacked, like, Kat, you need to buy this. And then you think I'm upset? There are people even more, like they were sending me, jumpsuits for the Labubu, LV bags, and I'm like, what am I missing out here?
Oh my God.
I can dress my Labubu. Okay. So when they arrive, I'm definitely doing a video because we got LV bags, we got Chanel bags, we got little shoes. Oh my goodness. It's like toys for the adults.
Okay, but let me ask you, and it's really fun and all, and I know it's like all the rage right now, but like just from me hearing it, it's so, to me anyway, right? It feels so impractical
Oh
because
yeah.
I'm not against having fun and buying something fun and cute, enjoy it, right? But to what extent do you go, right? You're buying all these accessories and LV bags, Chanel bags for it. Like, isn't that just redirecting your, I know it's not luxury money, it's not like thousands of dollars, but isn't that just redirecting to something else and like indulging in that? But it's, for me, and I'm just saying it, like it's an impractical item. Like it's fun and it does give you joy, but it's so short-lived because I feel like it's not going to be, it doesn't have the longevity and the timelessness of like, I don't know, classic flat or
For
a Kelly
sure.
Birkin, like that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And of course,
For
they
sure.
cannot be compared. Like this is a luxury, very like high-end item, luxury investment in a way, versus something fun,
Labubu.
trendy. Yeah, I
Labubu.
don't even know what to
It's
call
true.
it.
It's literally a bag. It's literally a bag
Bag
charm.
charm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's it. And whether it's a luxury bag charm or a Labubu bag charm, the fact that they are impractical. So I think the fun element to it is the the thrill of getting it, the thrill of uh sort of chasing for it,
Yeah.
and playing around with it. So maybe it's sort of like kids buying, maybe like Barbie dolls. You grow out
Yeah.
of it after a while, right? So
You
I feel like
do.
this is,
You do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably like that, right? It's because I actually went to the Pop Mart store, and other than this, because this is not only the thing, right? It's not only this monster fellow. Is They have other things. They have figurines. They have things you put on your table. But I think the element of it being able to be hanged at the handbag or at your house keys, brought along with you, makes it more popular than those figurines. I mean, I saw a lot of people buying the figurines, but if I was obsessed on just this Labubu, you'd be buying all these kind of things, which what you said, right? You
Yeah.
will out of the trend, and you've got all these things on your table collecting dust. So in a way, it's that enjoy it for the moment, right? And make sure you can sort of play around with it. But I don't think I don't. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. I don't think it will last more than you know what?
2
I
years?
don't know. I don't know. Because it's been around for a bit, and
Yeah.
people are chasing it. It's just that I didn't know that there was a community that really chases it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about Labubu, but there is another stuffed toy, and one of my friend is really into it. And I also bought some, but not for myself. I bought them for my like 5-year-old, 3-year-old niece and nephew. So it's different. Like it's a toy for them, right? Like what are they called? Oh my gosh, Squishmallow. It was also a trend, at least here, and people were buying and collecting them. And maybe older kids, because even my daughter too, she was buying them. Even just a couple years ago, she was buying a lot of them. And then she's not as bad, but like I've seen other parents' kids, they have like a whole, like just imagine the bedroom and then there's a bed. The bed is like literally filled a mountain of them. Like that's how many they've got. And to me, when I look at that, I'm like, it's gotten out of hand. Like where, of course it looks cute when you take a picture like that, but you got to store it somewhere, right? And then when they grow out of it, which they will in like 2 years, and it's just gonna sit there, it's gonna look nice, but it's just collecting dust. Maybe once in a while you'll play with it, but it's such a temporary thing. And like again, I have nothing against, you know, do you, right? Like buy what you really makes your heart sing, but like I just feel like there should be a limit. Like to what extent do you go like to that, obsession? Do you indulge in that obsession, right? Like it's so easy to just divert from, you're trying to be good here, but then you divert to something else just because it's less expensive. You can go so crazy at it and it can get
You
out of
can go
hand.
so crazy at it.
Yeah.
Really, it's so insane. Like I only bought a little, like bought clothes for it, right? But I have people who are buying little cars for their Labubu
Right.
and little. And I mean, I
Wow.
don't think I will go to that extent because then those are things. But still, it is. I think it's a fun. It's fun, and it's But yeah, you probably have to, as an adult, okay, you probably have to snap out of it because it will die off the trend. And I saw the trolls thing, but the trolls one, it's always around. It's nostalgic.
Yeah. It's
But anyway,
also because you will be tired of playing with it. At one point you're gonna be tired of seeing it, right? So nothing wrong with buying one or two. Just because I guess I'm so practical. Like for me, if it's an impractical thing and if I like it, I'll still buy it, but I won't buy more than a couple.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And like I don't like, somebody said, oh, they've got 4 blind boxes of the same box. And that to me does not make sense. I know you're chasing for the secret and it can get really addictive, but then you've got four, 16 of these.
Yeah.
I mean, not 16, 4, 4, 6,
Four times
24 of them.
6. Yeah. Yeah. Two
That
dozen.
doesn't mean, if I were to chase, I'll get 1 blind box. And if I don't get the
Mm.
secret, forget it. If I really want the secret, I think, and as in, you just buy the secret. Go and buy and pay 3 times. Who cares? Right? But that's the thrill. So I think their marketing, brilliant, even better than Hermes's, because this
Yeah.
one, it's like it's a different kind of chase. You just, wow,
And it's
it's
affordable. Well, it's affordable because it's
affordable.
like, $10,000, right?
True,
Like that.
true.
Or pre-spend. I guess your pre-spend here is like you have to buy enough to get that special one, unless you're really lucky and you get it the first try.
Yeah, possibly. But anyway, if you see my Labubu more,
Yeah, make a video of it. Well, we can.
I
Or you
will.
can
I
do it
will. Once I
live
get the
next time.
clothes and I get the little shoes.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
Let me show the slides. Thank you for sharing, Kat. That was interesting. So yes, we prepared slides for you. So this is our part 2 of this live stream because we wanted to tackle this tag. We were tagged by MaddieShops. So in saying all the changes that have been occurring in the past few years, here are our picks for our top 5 luxury things to buy in 2024. Now, in saying that, like I said earlier, Kat She sent me her slides, but she's not seen mine. I've prepared mine before her, so I haven't seen hers either when we prepared the slides. And the way we approached it was a little bit different. I feel like Kat's approach it more in like categories, whereas I specifically from items that I own, I chose from those things. So it's still kind of similar but different. In any case, how did you feel like luxury has changed for you? Feel free to comment. And without further ado, yeah, it's kind of mixed together, but yeah, this is her slide.
So I grouped them because when I wanted to choose them to be specific. So I wanted to do it sort of like, why I think it works, because I have something similar, and I feel it works in my life, and how I don't worry and I don't think too much about it. Plus, I don't feel like I'm shouting, "Oh my god, luxury, luxury, luxury." So the first one is dainty jewelry, and I have to be specific when I say like small touches of luxury. When it comes to your gold pieces, even your silver pieces. So I picked the first one, obviously the Sweet Alhambra. When I got this after so many years, but I think it's just the simplest thing to wear. It matches. I don't think too hard about it clashing with the rest of my outfit, my jewelry, my bag. Sometimes when you wear big chunky pieces of jewelry, whether it's fine silver or even the costume jewelry, your outfit and that piece of jewelry has to blend or complement each other. So with dainty jewelry, there are some from the luxury houses, since we're talking about luxury, right? So you have the Sweet Alhambra, then you have this, I forgot the name of this. This is the new launch from Hermes.
It's Crew something.
Clue something. Yeah, okay. It's like a little pyramid shape, but square.
Yeah.
Super pretty. Let's go to the next one. Also, I grouped them dainty earrings, jewelry, because we had a big trend of like giant earrings, flashier ones. But it's so simple. You don't think so much. It matches everything. You look elegant. You look put together with just that little bit of sparkle. So I feel like this is how jewelry is moving forward. Like I don't see a lot of social media showing like big pieces. Everything is subtle. Subtle. It's softer. It's still, whether it's expensive local jeweler or expensive but small pieces from the luxury houses, they all have the same theme. Subtle, easy to use.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. As a category, I totally agree with you because so I chose something similar from my own collection. So it's not this one. I'll get to that one in a minute. But something that is dainty but everyday and like has longevity. Again, like you're saying, your dainty jewelry, right? For me, it would be that solitaire necklace. I didn't choose earrings only because I have very sensitive ears, and I find that I can't have earrings on all the time. So that's me personally, but I know there are people like me, so that's why I chose necklace specifically. I feel like with a diamond, either solitaire or even like a row of diamonds such as this one, this is my favorite. I own this one because price point, they're the same price, both of them, but you get 0.9 carat for this one, you get 0.18 carat for Cartier. But anyway, the idea is the same. It's a piece of jewelry that is timeless. In this case, I chose diamonds specifically, and it's a diamond necklace because, like you said, it will never clash with any outfit. It will go with absolutely everything, whether you want to like show it out, or maybe that day you have like if you have a mock neck and it's just sitting underneath, you don't ever have to remove it. You can shower with it. And diamond is timeless, right? Also, another point that I really like about diamonds, whether it's this piece or this piece, is that you can layer with any other pieces of jewelry, because diamond is white and it's the most timeless precious stone that you can get. I feel like it's harder to layer with certain pieces. Not like the ones that Kat chose are still quite neutral, very easy. Another, and I know this is not the dainty jewelry, but I have to go with a bangle. And I
Mm.
again went with the diamond one. I feel like that's the thing. Like there is a point when you look at the prices, because they're going to be expensive either way, right? So if you go with the solid gold, same bangle, Tiffany lock, or you go with the diamond one, of course the diamond one's going to cost a lot more. Your upfront cost is a lot more, the first time you buy it. But the longer you have it, and it will be worth that initial upfront cost, because the longer you have it, the more happy you're going to be about your decision for having chosen at least the diamond one, the half pave one, because maybe it would have been cheaper to buy the solid gold at first, but you're going to get tired of it. It's kind of easy to get tired of things that are too simple. When you have a little step up, having even just a few diamonds to look at, you don't have to reinvest in that same bracelet later on, which is why I chose this one. So again, I went with items that I already own, which is why Kat and we approached it slightly different. But again, why did I choose a bangle? So I could easily have chosen my Cartier love bracelet. I think this one is also a really, really amazing buy. Like, don't get me wrong, the Cartier love bracelet, I especially love the slim one, is also amazing. But again, it's the point where I adding the diamonds is that extra step that you will never get tired of. Like, I will have this until the day that I go to my grave. Like, literally, it's the one piece, one time upfront cost, and it's done. And that's how I feel about it. And plus, this bracelet is the one that I get the most compliment. People kind of like, if they don't know it, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so nice. And then you get two sides of it, right? You get like almost two different styles. One that is a bit more edgy, one that is more kind of timeless, and yeah, has that tennis look a little bit, but it's a bangle. So yeah, it's expensive, but I feel like in 2024, that's the kind of investment that makes sense, because although this is not like inexpensive, but it's a one-time cost. Does that make sense? That's how I approach it. Yeah. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think they are statement, but they're not too in your face, right? Statement can sometimes err on the side of excessive, whereas this is still clean and yeah, it's loud but simple, right? You know, because it's chunky, right? It's got that chunky side of it, the more edgy side of it.
Yeah, it's actually, it looks chunky on the picture, but I've owned this for a while. I've never found it to be like excessively loud. I've never actually found it to be loud. They actually now have a thinner version. I have not tried. I'm like resisting going to my store because I know I will love something and then I would want to buy it. So I'm resisting going, but they do have now the even thinner version of the lock. They have it in earrings. They have new necklaces, new bracelets. So you could potentially consider the thinner version. The price has gone up a lot since I got it, but the point is, I feel like they don't have to be loud. Like, I feel like what's loud is so this is not loud for me. What's loud is the hardware line. That's loud. Yeah. I still love it, but the hardware is not something you can wear every day. I own the earrings, right? I cannot wear those every day. They're not getting the cost per wear. Whereas this lock bracelet, this necklace, I mean, I've already gotten every single cent that I invested in these pieces. They've already paid themselves. Yeah, it's something that I wear every day. And I'm sure for you too, like your little necklace.
Yeah, I wear this all the time for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Next. Oh, that's mine. So I know Kat has something similar, but I'll talk about this one. So I chose a tote bag that is the Chanel 22 because I own it. But also I didn't want to choose something like the Neverfull. Nothing against it. Again, nothing against it. But for me, again, it's that one upfront cost. That's the way I think now, especially in 2024. You want to be smart with your money, even though it's still expensive. Something that you can see yourself not get tired of it, and yet it's, because I know this bag very well. It's so easy, it's so timeless, it's so stylish. And if you think it's too much logo, or if you are in a sketch part of town, you can always wear the logo towards you. So, everybody, all of my friends who didn't love this bag, who ended up getting it afterwards, all say they rave about it. And I'm pointing my finger to Clara, to Kat, to many people, okay?
With my Labubu.
Exactly.
With my Labubu.
It's like this bag will always exceed your expectations after you own it. And it's because of its ease of use. You literally don't really have to baby it. Okay, the first batch did have some issues with the leather. I'm glad they fixed it because I haven't experienced any issues after that. And I haven't had to baby it like crazy. Just the normal amount of me being careful, and it's worn super fine. It's spacious. So this is my I have two options for a everyday kind of use bag. So this is my option one, just because the size is more is kind of just bigger, easier to just throw everything. But I think Kat has a similar idea.
Yeah.
I'll
So
show option two later.
I so again, I'm going with categories of what the trend is like, and it sort of matches what we said earlier in the beginning, right? People are going a little bit more low key. Even myself, I'm picking bags that don't have monogram. Even I do love a good monogram bag, but at the moment, not really my jam. Right? I would pick it, and next thing I know, maybe I'll just carry my Chanel 22 or carry my mini Lindy, which is black. So if if you are feeling sort of like, yeah, I want to buy a bag, but I'm not sure what kind of bag, I think a plain black bag of any sort is the way to go for now. So I picked, it could be this cargo picotin, it could be a Lindy, it could even be this Bottega one. I mean, there's so many choices that doesn't have to be high key. It can be low key. Plus, they work in many settings, not just going out for errands. They work for work. They don't, they're not in your face. You can go from day to night with them. So because of its simplicity, it's yeah, it's actually a more wiser purchase at the moment. If you're feeling like, I don't really know what to buy, I still want to buy in a luxury bag, but at the same time, oh, I'm a bit weary of getting that bright color. Is it too show off? Will I be a target if I go out? So this is like the best. No logos, and I did not pick Chanel. At first, I was looking at it and I'm like, unfortunately, Chanel, even though you have the what's the other one? The reissue. There is something about it that when I look at it, it's not plain enough. Maybe some people won't agree with me, but I just feel like maybe the chains or something about it, it's still giving me a bit of like, okay, if I really want plain, this leather plain.
Okay. So you're coming from like you want so not only the color black, but something really, more
Under the radar, right? Under the
yeah.
radar. I don't have to fuss too much about it.
Mm.
Worry if I get stains on it. Worry people looking at me. So everything, I just want to carry my nice bag. But leave me alone kind of look, right? And that's how I was kind of approaching these. And you can see that there's a theme, right? The really little hardware. It's just a touch there. No logos, no branding outside. the most obvious maybe is the Bottega one, but that's weaving, right? So it's not really. But something about Chanel, maybe the chain, that was the closest that I could think of. The Chanel reissue.
Okay. Well, I have to agree as well. I mean, I think I not necessarily that I would go with the plain part, but I do agree with the black colored part because that's the reason why I have so many black bags. And yeah, again, black is so universal. It's a timeless color. There's literally no zero brain power to think about whether it will match with your outfit
Yeah.
or not. Like literally, even if you're in a white outfit, a black bag will still work. And so, yeah, it's literally the most versatile and easy bag that you can ever get for any time, any circumstance, any recession, no recession, but especially nowadays if you want to kind of blend in more and be under the radar, which is why I've always favored black bags as well. And I think it's even more relevant now. So yeah, totally agree. So I showed option 1 and I wanted to show option 2 because again, I also own this bag, not this exact color, but I just picked, something from online. So I own also the mini version of the 22, and why I think it's also another good option to as a everyday sort of bag. So not only do you have at least, there's a part of me that feels like if I only got, I don't know, maybe an Evelyn. Nothing wrong with the Evelyn, right? But it's such a simple bag. I know I will get tired of it. Still think that it's a nice bag and it's still good to own as part of your collection to have something even more under the radar, more I don't know, super user friendly. But for me personally, I won't be satisfied with myself and with my own collection for not having at least a piece of Chanel. So that's how I see it. And this is saying a lot because, basically after you see all my 5 picks, if I own only these 5 things right now and not anything else, it would be fine. That's how powerful this list is for me. And so, yeah, so this is still the second item. Oh, no, the third, because the first was the bracelet and then the necklace and then a practical bag. So I could either go with the large version or the small version. The small version also is another one that really kind of blows your mind after you own it. In a way, I sometimes even prefer the small version because it's out of the way, it's crossbody. It can also be small enough that if you really didn't have a nice little clutch, to me, I have no problems wearing this to a nice restaurant, for a date, whatever. Like it's so dainty. It's so much more dainty that it has that capability of being worn kind of like in the evening, date nights sort of thing. Even though I own the black version of this, I feel like for a small bag, you also can go with a pop of color, which is why I showed a pop of color. You can go with silver, pink, this red limited edition. The options are definitely endless. It's again an upfront cost because again, Chanel is very expensive these days, and there's no way it costs or it's worth 7,000 plus tax. There's no way. But at the same time, that's how I feel about it. It's that upfront, like I know I will get a lot of use out of it. I'll get a lot of joy out of it. I still haven't gotten tired of either of my mini 22 and larger size 22, so that is why I'm choosing them.
Yeah, I like this. Like I a sneak peek because we're doing it next week, but I really like the silver for this collection.
Yeah.
It's I think they came out with silver 22s a couple of years ago, and they haven't come out with silver metallic ones. It's beautiful. Like if you see it in person, you'll be surprised. Like if you don't want to get a white bag, get a silver bag. Like it's so you would think it's so loud, but it's actually pretty neutral with a bit of like that shine, that metallic shine. So yeah, I love it. Like if it wasn't so expensive and money was
I
not
know,
an
right?
object, I would totally get another 22, but in silver because it's so pretty. I have a friend who has the bigger version, and it's a head turner in a good way. It's not like, oh, obnoxious. It's like, wow, actually it looks so good. it's like metal color, like but shiny.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
nice. But
Yeah,
oh my
I
god,
know,
the
right?
price
'Cause
is psycho.
yeah, there's no way the price should be like 8,000 because basically 8,000 after tax. It's insane. It's insane money for this kind of construction and such a slouchy bag. But it's just the use, the practicalness of it. I cannot rave about it any more than I already do. And yeah, I'm glad they came back out with silver because they launched with the pink, the silver, the black, and the white the first time
Mm,
on the runway, right, with all the models in bathing suits. It was so cool that
mm.
really like it just catches your attention when you see it. But yeah, okay, my slide again. So Kat went with plain black bags. My slide is more targeted. I want a tiny black but very iconic bag because you need a practical bag. But like I said, for me, right, in my list, if I own these 5 things, right, a bracelet, a necklace, a Chanel 22, but I need some sort of either Kelly, well, yeah, some sort of Kelly, either a Chanel Kelly or an Hermes Kelly. I need some sort of Kelly bags that will be my dinner bag because yeah, it's just how I feel. Like I feel like it's not enough to just have a practical bag. Even if maybe the Chanel 22 mini is good enough for many instances, but for me personally, I will die if I don't have a mini Kelly. That's how I feel about it. It's just one of those things I have to have. Just because they're so versatile again. Not only do I use it for dinner and like weddings, but for me, these can also go from day to night, depending on how much I need to carry and depending on how bougie I feel like. Yeah, and black is just super safe.
Yeah, especially for these, it they look so. Um,
Timeless, I
wait, I have
think.
to pull this comment. Hang on. These two bags will bring your bag from your whole outfit from good to chef's kiss. And I
Yeah.
saw this comment from Julie says, I have to say this, and Evelyn will make one's outfit for the day looking from good to meh. The other way around.
I don't own the Evelyn yet, and I haven't tried it yet, but I've never really found a liking to it. And maybe the right color if it comes along the right color, but so far I haven't been a crazy
Maybe
fan
it's
of it yet.
the
The strap,
strap, the sporty strap. It could be. I mean,
yeah.
it's such a practical bag that it's not meant to dress up your outfit, unfortunately, but
But
it
there's also
will
many
take your
practical
outfit
bags.
down a notch.
But my argument also is that there are many practical bags that actually look good too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying the mini Evelyn is not good looking. I feel like there have been some people that I saw that styled it super well. They definitely put in the effort though, because I feel
Mhm.
like the mini Evelyn is kind of hard. Really have to put in the effort to actually not like what Julie said, right? to to make your
You're
outfit
looking
go
good,
down a
but now
notch.
you're looking
That's
a
very
little
easy.
like, maybe it's the bag.
But exactly, this bag or either of these bags will easily just like literally
Elevate the
your
look.
outfit is really nice, but then to really tie it off, you need a
Yeah,
nice bag. That's how I feel.
absolutely.
Which is crazy to say, like, to say in 2024, that's what you need. Like, that's what I need. That's my top picks, okay? I feel like at the minimum, I have to have at least some sort of Kelly, mini Kellys or Chanel Kelly. So it might be a bit much for most people, but for me, it is personally something I need. Oh my gosh, it's my slide again too. Okay. Um, it's kind of a category as well. For me, I feel like you at least need some sort of practical sandals, some comfortable sandals that are dad sandals, but it also goes with a lot of outfits. For me, I've been wearing my beige color ones, the beige argyle color sheep sandals with my shorts all summer long. I've been wearing the white shorts, the black shorts, the beige shorts in that sandal, and every time it's matched. There was like literally no brain power to think about your outfit. So it could be this, it could be the Chanel, it could be other versions, but for me, I personally picked this one.
Yeah, these are such good shoes. I I'm just surprised they went up so much.
I know. Yeah, they did. It was under. It was like I'm.
9.
I. I'm pretty sure my first pair was under 900
Yeah.
plus tax. So yeah, now it's well over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. These are, again, you can see the theme of my categories, right? It's all about simple, easy to use, don't fuss so much. And I pick Mary Jane's. Now, Mary Jane's, I have several pairs. And I can tell you, they go with everything, okay? You can wear them for going out. They look good at the workplace. And if you're, from work, you're going out, you don't have to fuss about whether your shoes look too or the other way around, from going out to work, that your shoes don't look too casual. They are comfy because they have a wider front, so you can walk all day in them. Some have the additional strap, some don't, but that's the kind of look of Mary Jane has. It's so good. And if you are looking for a pair of everyday shoes, right now is the best time to get Mary Jane's, because Mary Jane's, like every brands are making Mary Jane's now. I have Miu Miu. I actually have 2 pairs because I was wearing one so much. I wore them out. I bought another pair, exactly the same. That's how much I love them. And I recently got a pair of Chanel ones. Need a little bit of breaking in, the Chanel, but they look so good and fun. I don't wear socks with my Mary Janes, but that's a look. You could. I'm not sure if I would, but I don't. But yeah, some people wear it with a little ankle sock. They're so cute. They definitely look so nice. Don't have to get black, which is why I picked a couple of colors like this. This one on the right side, I think those are Prada ones. The white ones are Miu Miu. I think that is Miu Miu. Then you got Chanel. Every brand has so many. There's so many choices now. They were not that common a few years. I always looking for Mary Janes, but they come out seasonal. Not every brand, Chanel maybe, but now it's like it's the in thing, but in a good way. So I love good pair of Mary Janes.
Yeah, I do love that they are you can wear them at the office for going out with pants, with shorts, with dresses. They're very, very versatile. I will say though, personally, the reason why I haven't been able to get at least the Chanel ones is because the almond toe that Chanel does never ever works for me. I don't know if the ones that I got recently are really Mary Janes, because they really are more of a pump, I think. Because I feel like Mary Jane is a different. Like, did you saw the ones that I got, right, with the bow? I don't know if those are really Mary Janes. But those ones, what I like is that it has more of a rounded square toe. So those the toe box has to really be a lot more squared off for me to be able to wear.
Those are Mary Janes actually. So the front should be wider. I mean, these are just but these are the style. Like, you've got the little strap that cuts across. So every brand does it a bit differently. Some make it looking more like pumps, but they have this strap like kind of to give it that look. But if you really want like the legit Mary Janes, they're a little bit more square, like the Miu Miu ones that have very squarish at the front, strap across, flat base.
Yeah, very nice shoes. Okay, so slightly similar idea to Kat, but a little bit more dressy. I picked the Jimmy Choo Bings, specifically the 65 height, because I have myself this pair. I also have a beige pair that is a lace material, and I love them. So they're not going to be as used as all the other things that I've shown so far, but every time I've needed something dressy, whether it's for an event or a wedding or a nice dinner perhaps. I don't need to walk a lot to get to. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to walk in these a lot, but if I had to, they're actually comfortable enough to stand on for many, many hours. These are the shoes I would go for. Not only, I don't know why it is, because even though it has a pointed toe, maybe because it doesn't have a closed heel, it's
Mm.
never given me any issues. It's so comfortable. The height also makes a difference. I can't really wear high heels anymore. These are probably the highest I can go for. And again, I still probably wouldn't walk miles and miles with them. I can walk a little bit in them, but not for a lot. But yeah, I haven't found personally another pair of shoes that are as comfortable as these ones. And they're
Jimmy
so
Choo,
comfortable
right?
that I
They're
own
so
two.
comfy. The way it's made, it's like, I don't know. I have a pair. Not these. What are these called? Um,
Bing.
Bings. Yeah, I don't have the Bings, but I have another. It's called Rosalia or something.
Mm.
It's similar in terms of it's got that front, sharper front toe box, but still so comfortable. It doesn't feel like my toes are being squished and cannot breathe. So, wow, love it. Jimmy
Yeah.
shoes. Jimmy Choo shoes. Jimmy Choo's shoes.
Yeah, Jimmy Choos are really good, generally speaking, but especially for me, the Bing, this one with the heel, like no heel, it's been magical. It's been so good that I added another pair in my collection, right? And I can do all outfits with those two pairs.
Okay. So I picked this because if you're looking to buy a watch, especially now in the like now, and you want to watch, but you don't want a chunky watch, and you know the sporty watches are still in, right? The submarine, those big Rolex submarine, I think they're still big, trendy, but timeless are these jewelry type. I put quote and unquote because it's not about having the watch. You don't really need your watch. It's actually the look. It's like a bangle or bracelet, but not. And they are timeless. So I picked the Cartier Panther because it just looks so beautiful on the wrist. Let's go to the next slide. I picked these. These are Omega ones. Such a pretty piece of metal on your hand, and you can have a little bit of gold. You can have a little bit of diamond. There's something about wearing a watch as a jewelry piece compared to just wearing a jewelry piece that it's still understated. So when you wear, like say you wear like my stack here, gold, people's eyes would still, like, you know, I mean, if you're concerned about it, but it seems to stand out more than if you're wearing a watch as a jewelry piece. There is this distinction between just jewelry and a jewelry watch. Let's go to the next one. One more slide. I think I've got one more. Look at this. You can wear like full gold. Like this is the Nantucket. Or it's just stainless steel, but within it there's done diamonds. It gives you that jewelry look, but not be just jewelry. There's this perception. That's how I feel it. Maybe that's why men like to buy that big chunky, because it's jewelry, but it doesn't. Who needs a watch now? Frankly, who needs a watch? You don't, unless you're a diver or something. So if you're looking to accessorize but you want something more, these jewelry watches, I think it's the way to go. And they're timeless, right?
Yeah, they're very pretty. I own this one in the, well, not this exact one, but I own the custom one from the one on the left from a couple, is it a couple 3 years ago? I do wear it actually. I'm actually surprised that I do wear it. I think for definitely is more of a special occasion watch because I have to make the effort to wear it. But yeah, it's funny because you know I had my definitely more of a honeymoon phase with my Apple Watch at first. Like the first year I was wearing it constantly, but now Now I only wear it when I go for my workouts, for my walks, because I want to track my steps and my heart rate and stuff like that. On the daily, I don't actually wear it as much anymore. Yeah,
Interesting. I mean, for
because like
me,
you said, we don't need a watch these days, right? A phone can do everything for you, and I'm still kind of used to having just look at the phone anyway.
yeah, I think for me, it's sort of challenging to wear my watch because I'm so dependent on my Apple Watch
Mm,
now that on a daily I don't even bring don't bring my phone out, and I don't bring my wallet out. I still can use the my credit card on my watch. I Singapore, you don't need cash, so everything's okay. So it's like when I wear my other watches, I feel like I need to tap my watch my watch. I'm like, oh, pull out my phone. So yes, it's hard, but you won't be wearing like this kind of watch to a nice event and dinner. Not that I'm saying that you wear those all the time and you go for those all the time. I'm actually going for a fancier piece of jewelry piece that is more occasional. So it's sort of like this is the statement
mm,
jewelry for when you need it.
mm. Yeah, they're very nice. I still very much like this one.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so nice.
yeah,
Especially the small one. Can't see the time
yeah.
at all. Just a line.
But it's the way the chain is so close to your flesh, and I don't know, the way it drapes, it's just so nice. But
Yes.
yeah, in the meantime, this will do. Okay, I think that is all for our both our top 5 luxury that we would recommend, or that we would buy for 2024. And this is our new calendar. If you haven't seen it, it's already posted on both our community posts. So yeah, we have a few topics like we said, and yeah, you can just go and look at it. We don't do this very often, but of course, as you can see in our calendar, we have the blue sessions are the members only sessions. So if you want to be able to view all of our live streams, you can join our membership, because it's on both our channels. So if you want to see all the episodes, then you can just find the membership on our channel page. Oh, what's
Sorry.
that?
No, I was looking at the message on this, and everybody's like, find my phone from my Apple Watch. And I'm like, what? Is that a feature? And then
Yeah,
I just
you don't use it?
I don't use it because I think it's the other way around. I think
Oh,
it's
I
find
think
my
you can do both.
watch,
Yeah.
not my phone. Because I'm always holding my phone. My phone's always with me. I'm like, oh, where's my things? So now that I was like, oh,
Yeah, I use it. I definitely use it. Sometimes I kind of like just chuck my phone somewhere. Like when I cook, sometimes I chuck my phone and then I'm like, "Oh, where did I put my phone now?" And then I have to go find it after. But yeah, it's a cool feature for sure. I use it well, not all the time, but like I used it pretty
this
often.
is my first time. I was like, oh, that's what it. So that's the sound that I hear when some people are pressing something in the bus.
Yeah, yeah. It's so handy though. It's so handy.
Several times a day, Jen.
Well, I think it will also sound even if it's on am I right? Even if it's on
Bluetooth.
silent?
Okay, let's try. So if my phone's on silent, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, try that.
Oh, my phone is on silent.
So yeah, you're supposed to be able to find your phone. Yeah, exactly. So it's a really good feature because well, it defeats the purpose if it was silent and then you couldn't find it, right?
Yeah, true. But what if my phone's okay? No, that is dumb. That's a dumb question. Sorry. I was gonna say, what if my phone's battery is dead? Like
Oh, then you can't find it.
no, yeah, like I said, dumb question. But there's some I can't remember now. I remember where something is like dead, then you can actually use it. I swear I cannot remember now. Never mind.
Maybe I don't know.
Anyway.
Let us know how you like what's okay, I'm gonna ask the audience back. What's your top three or top five, if you can spell out all five luxury that you must have or that you would still buy in 2024, right? Based on just like how luxury has changed for you and what you wear
Mm.
now, you know? Because, yeah, I feel like I would be so content if I had just like those things, my bracelet, my necklace, my Chanel 22 Mini Kelly, and then, yeah, those shoes. It would be more than enough to be able to, you know, because I still have regular clothes that I can wear, right? And I can, you know, play with the clothes, and then you can accessorize with those nice bags. Or if I was casual, I can wear the nice shoes and the Chanel 22, and it would still like look so good. And I would feel so good in them too, right? Because I would be happy wearing those things. Even if I didn't have anything else, let's just say, right?
Mm.
That's how I feel.
Oh, I think that's the thing. Yeah, you still can find your phone. When your phone's dead, you still can find it. I think that's the one. There's something about your phone. You can, like, some people who lose their phone for, and then obviously battery dies.
Oh, I
But
think if you have like, let's say another Apple product like your laptop,
yeah, then you can
and you
use it
can.
to find, like, I was like, where, what is it? I can't remember.
But
Is it this? It's not the sound, but it's something
it
about signal.
it will just
I
give
think
you an
so.
approximate location though, right? It's not like it's not
As
gonna make
long as you
sound.
turn on the Find My Phone, if I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
mistaken. Yeah. Which I think is brilliant. I haven't tried it, but maybe I should just give it a go, just in case.
Well, so all our phones are all being like trackable, so that like, I mean, nothing ever happens, right? Hopefully, but knock on wood. But like, if someone was to get lost or they haven't come home, and you're like wondering where the heck they are, so you
Mm.
can go on track them. But it's like literally for those reasons. But yeah, that's it.
Such a cool function, but I don't even use.
So Julie says, I have slowed down recently because I've spent way too much since 2020 now. 2021, time to save up. Yeah, I think all of us, yeah, a lot of us too, for sure.
Mm. I'm at the bottom. So Joe is saying tennis bracelet, finesse necklace, Constance, Birkin 25, Paris loafers.
Nice. Very nice.
KK Love says jewelry for sure. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. I so at the beginning of this year, right, when on my wish list, I said that I wanted to find or to potentially get the matching necklace to my earrings. I don't know anymore, just because they are very chunky and, you know, pricey, even though I could get enough cost per wear because I will try my best. But then, yeah, it's just such a hassle because you have to make the effort to wear it because it's a
Mm.
chunkier piece. You can't just sleep with it, right? And that is the same with the earrings, because the earrings, those posts are so thick. That's another problem I have also. Most earrings, even with the earrings with the most comfortable earrings, I still cannot sleep with them. That's just how sensitive I am. And for me, earrings for that reason wouldn't have the same cost per wear. And especially when it has such a thicker pose too. Like some days I just can't even wear it. And that is always a turn off for sure. I think I saw some questions, but then I don't remember. Julie, isn't it changing for us because we got a lot of bags, especially H bags that we had wanted? Oh, is luxury changes because we have a lot of bags? Possibly, yeah. I think on a personal level, a lot of people, like on social media, and myself too, you know, when you accumulate to a point where you get so much overwhelm that you kind of want to go back. But I don't know if that's really the reason why luxury as a whole is changing, though. Right? I think that's more personal. I feel
Mm.
like why luxury in general seems to be changing is because it's following some sort of economy trend, plus just like just generally people how they, I don't, what's the word? You know, a good friend told me recently, she's like, she doesn't even want to wear any of her luxury bags anymore, even though she has a lot. And, you know, all she wants to do is just wear Lululemon and that's it, right? Just because it just seems like everywhere you go, nobody's really wearing them. That's how she feels. And then I'm like, I could see where you're going with this. It's in a way, it's not because you don't love your bags, and even though you have a really nice collection yourself, but it's almost like, oh, you feel bad if you're not blending in. And
Mm.
I feel like that's how luxury has changed a bit too, which also makes sharing similar content a little bit challenging, right?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is the theme of this sharing, like difficult to share, and also for us, if you have it, you wear it. It's becoming more. It has. I mean, the ball was rolling for a few years now, but I think this
Yeah.
year there is the feeling of just oversaturated. You just feel like I'm so sick of it. You're tired. You know, you eat something for so long, you're like,
But I don't
don't
know if
want to do
it's
it.
so, I don't really know if it's necessarily that you're tired of it for everyone, right? Like, I feel like it's more like you feel almost embarrassed to wear it because everyone else is not wearing it. It's almost like that.
Mm,
And you don't want to be outstanding. Does that make sense? Like, you just don't want to be the loud, like, in a way it's not loud, right? But in a way it's loud because if everyone else is not wearing their luxury, then you're the one wearing it, then you're gonna get all the stares. And that's it. Maybe embarrassed is not the right word, but did you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you feel bad to wear it. It's almost like that.
I understand. It's you just
Yeah.
don't want to stand out.
Yeah.
It's the sign of the times. You don't want to be
Yeah.
the one that people are like, yeah, this one, yeah, and it's hard. It's a hard.
Another thing that was also mentioned that is also because like it just seems, anyway, it may be a temporary thing, hopefully, it just seems like there's more crimes happening, right? Even last week we were talking to Oksana, Toronto is crazy. Like, my mom was also telling me that too because it's on the news. Obviously there's stuff happening in Vancouver, it's everywhere, but like my point is, like, you know, Toronto seems to be very, very bad because it's happening a lot, and some people are literally targeted, like some neighborhoods are targeted, some ethnicity is targeted, and like because they know you have nice things and that you wear them, so it almost feels like you're just trying to avoid getting targeted so you don't wear it. So there's a bit of that too. Maybe not
Mm,
as bad here, but you know, it kind of almost feels like, oh, you're protecting yourself. And so there's also that component, I feel that maybe it hasn't necessarily happened to you, but you just want to prevent it, right?
mm,
Hopefully, yeah. Maybe not so much in Singapore since it's safer there, but yeah, it's definitely a little, you know, you gotta be like some bigger cities like San Fran, Toronto. I keep mentioning the same, but like, you know, you just keep seeing some like crazy petty crimes, and
yeah.
it happens often, and you just kind of don't want to stand out that way.
I like this comment here, and maybe this is how we're feeling, but we just don't understand it. Like
Mm.
you just actually we are content, but because we have built such a habit of consuming that we
Mhm.
don't know what is content, like what is the feeling of actually, hey, actually you made it, like that's it, you should be content, right?
And I think it's in a way we're subconsciously content, but in a way it's almost because we're in this sort of like timing that is like you're not supposed to show that you're content.
That too. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a mix, right? So if you're
Yeah, it's a mixed
like
bag.
I feel like I've got everything I want, but then I am like, but then again, then I'm hitting like, oh, should I buy that bag? I really like it, but I shouldn't because I know I won't be able to use it. So why don't I just go and fall back to the current collection that I have? But then again, I can't be using my current collection. Then I'm like, oh, do I even need it? So it feels really contradictory
It is.
because though I am content, I would like to use it. I don't think I should be using it because of all these other problems. But at the same time, I do like bags, so I still want to continue buying. Then it goes back to the same two questions that I asked myself earlier. So it's like, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm done.
And that is why you go and buy Labubu.
No, I didn't buy it.
No,
But
not
I will.
you, but I'm just saying
Oh.
like that could be an example of why like if you're so like you're so confused in a way, right? Like you're content, but you know if you bought it, you would feel guilty wearing it. But in a way, you still want to buy it, but then you're resisting buying it. So instead, you buy this. You buy all these other things
to fulfill this void.
Yeah. It's like
luckily
to
it's a
fulfill the
Labubu
needs.
and not a rodeo.
Oh, rodeos they get it's the same after a while. It's just a different color. So you only need a few, honestly.
Yeah, you don't need a lot of rodeos.
No.
It's so cute.
I think that is the reason. I feel like maybe that explains the reason why a lot of people have started diverting to buying different things, like lower price point things that are collectibles or special collabs, and it's like a fun way to still have that thrill and to still be consuming.
I called it. I said already, people will do it. Like nobody's gonna buy the big ticket items now, which is why you see the luxury houses expanding their small items, small jewelry, fun jewelry, lots and lots of small little things that is still a I was gonna say cheap thrill, but it's not cheap. It's like a thrill, like shoes, collaborations with shoes. So no, like bags. It's not where they're gonna get their money now. They're gonna get their money from all the little things, charms, fashion jewelry,
Useless things.
SLGs.
Yeah, and not always the most practical things, especially like how many times can you buy those costume jewelries, right?
Yeah.
How many
And
SLGs do you
how many
actually
Fendi
need?
lollipops do you need?
Yeah.
But you buy it.
Okay. Lay Magat, I have a theory and would like to hear your thoughts. As an adult, we chase hard to get stuff because we were indoctrinated with award system in school. The hard to get stuff we chase are the awards we give to ourselves for our own milestones and achievements. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. Like, I mean, what's the point, right? Otherwise, other than survival, right? Like the basic needs being fulfilled, food, shelter, I don't know, clothes. Then what else, right? It's a little bit of enjoyment, right? And it can be a bit excessive. Excessive in a sense that they can be way more than just like the regular, like instead of just like a regular economy car, you go for the luxury car, or instead of the, I don't know, a regular trip buying economy ticket, you go for the premium or like the first class ticket. Like I think it's fine to have a bit of fun. I would agree with that.
So this comment from Joe: hang on to your nice things because good times will return.
Yeah.
And you can take them out to enjoy your regular life again.
It's a cycle. It has to be, because everything has a cycle, right? Everything. Literally. The only exception to this that I wouldn't always hang on to is like, because we all know fashion is also a cycle. Like, the trend will come back, like the big flare pants, right? In the 90s, I used to wear them. It's kind of back a little bit, but now it's a little different kind of flare. It's wide and flare at the same time, or it's maybe a micro flare. It's not like the same super slim and then really flared out. It's a little different. So some certain things I wouldn't necessarily hang on to, but for sure, I think with luxury handbags, I think that is a bit different because they don't change as drastically. I feel like with clothes as part of fashion, clothes do tend to change a lot more. Even if it's the same trend, a little subtle change will make that type of trendy garment like a thing of the past. Like, you know how skinny jeans, they were still really like, they were for a long
They're
time
coming back.
wearing them until last 2 years, maybe 2 years ago, they were still really okay. And then this year, literally no consignment store would even take them. Like, I'm not even
But they're
joking.
coming back. They're coming back. They're coming back.
Not yet, but I don't know if the same type of skinny jeans will be, because back then it was also the low waist. If they come back, it'll be the high waist. So there's still always going to be subtle changes, and it won't be the exact same thing. And unless you don't mind that it's a subtle change, like it still fits the same way that you want, then it's fine. But like, they will change certain things even if the trend comes back, that it still will make it irrelevant.
Interesting. I think it's a if you don't have to let go of your things now, right? It's worth just hanging on to them and seeing, like, kind of playing out. But the fashion items are the challenging ones, like skinny
Yeah.
jeans, bell bottom jeans, um, bulky jackets. You know, those biker like oversized shirts that are like extreme, like you know, that Balenciaga one that everybody had at one point, like oversized. Yeah, that I mean, I'd still wear it, I guess, but you can tell when it was from, which is not a problem, but it doesn't have that timeless element to it.
Yeah.
And if you decide that it's not for you anymore, then the challenge is actually letting it go. Like, or you just, yeah, it's hard.
Donate
It's
it.
hard.
Yeah.
Or donate it. Yeah.
I think with clothes, the only challenge is that you have to, like, if you have a feeling that the trend is changing, but right before it's completely changed and people are tired of it, that you should be letting it go already. And I feel like with clothes, it's a little bit more acceptable because your body changes too, right? Like, speaking personally, right? Not like I have really changed that much over the years. Like, I'm still pretty stable all over the years, but my body still changed a little bit. And I can't fit the same way my clothes from 5 or 10 years ago are. And I just don't even feel comfortable in them anymore. So I feel like it's totally okay to move on from clothes. With bags, is very different though, because bags at the end of the day is still an accessory. It's supposed to complement your outfit. It's not like literally sitting on your body, right? And those don't change as much. Even if they do change, if it's a timeless design, it shouldn't change that much. Maybe very, very tiny little subtle changes, but usually those are not the problem.
You can pull this comment from Blue Egyptian saying that I can't wait for those good times to return so I can feel safer wearing
Mm,
Chanel and jewelry.
yeah.
And that's saying that I think it will be another 20 years before we see another luxury boom. We had it in the 80s, then it took COVID and lockdown to bring back a luxury boom. World
Mm,
economy and politicians say no.
Yeah.
You know what? I think less than 20, because maybe in those years they don't have social media, but social media is so,
Accelerates everything.
yeah, it accelerates everything. Give it, I'd say less than 10 years, it'll come back again, because it's always like, everybody's gonna be quiet for a while, and everything, and it's happened, right? 3 years of COVID. It was just before COVID, right? 3-4 years of it, and then a little bit of COVID. Then you're in that fifth year of like everybody's just really going down. Give it another 5 years. If social media is still as hot as it is, or it has actually taken to be the mainstream, no more TV, no more news, people want to show their things. I'm telling you. I mean, not me. I'm not gonna be like, what? I'm 50. But there will be a new generation of kids and young adults coming in where they might be flushed with a bit more choice, and I think it will happen.
I would
I think
agree
it'll
to
take
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think 20 years. I think 5 to 10 easily. You get a someone who's famous enough in that millennial, Gen Z, Gen Alpha age, that wears something that's super trendy, a little louder, and it just goes like, look at this Labubu thing. What the heck? But it came in the right timing, because people are looking for that alternative, right? So they'll be soft for a while, and then somebody will look for that alternative, and it will explode. Oh yes.
I'm just laughing at this comment. Joe is always so funny. Look, I'm sorry for all the things I said about the Chanel 22 looking like a sports events bag, because now it's the next bag I'm getting. LOL. Yeah, it's all good.
Fine, it's all good.
It's a really good bag. Literally, like, honestly, I'm not saying that I'll never ever part with it ever in my life, but I also don't think that I see a date for it. You know how long I hung on to. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about it because we just said that we're not talking about it yet. But anyway, eventually I'll talk about it one day. But the members know.
I think this is true. Greedy luxury companies brought on their own demise and their crazy price increases.
Yeah.
This definitely needs to not not what's the word, like, so it needs to get moderated a little bit, because it just went up so much. And yes, there are a lot of very, very rich 1 to 2% of the world population, but the mass market is substantial for them as well, right? I don't think we're not paying a little bit of a penny there. It's pretty penny. So the fact that it's so crazy now, that's why it's getting hurt. And obviously it's added to the fact that people are also like sick of it, right? Sick of it, tired of it. And if they don't moderate down the price a little bit, or somehow issue out new things of a bet, sort of like have things in those old prices, they're gonna lose this market, because they just like never can even imagine. So think about like the mini square minis, mini rectangulars. They were in the more acceptable price range when in that part 3,000, 4,000. So right now, if you look at Chanel, that's where their SLGs sit. But if you notice lately, their SLGs are looking like bags. Especially this current season, right? They have this bag, this it looks like east west, which bag, and it's packed as a SLG. It's a little bit bigger, but it's at that range of $3,000-$4,000. It feels like the past, except that they have the higher price point things. I think they're trying to moderate it because there's probably not many people are picking up those $7,000-8,000 bags at the moment. And then even YSL and another brand brought their prices down. They, at least in Singapore, I'm not sure in overseas, it's too crazy expensive. They're not getting. They need the smaller ticket items, those entry purchases, to get you hooked. So yeah, I agree.
It's still hard to get a customer hooked forever though, because like I agree with the that companies are trying to churn out different products or a different category of products that has a smaller price point so that you become a fan of maybe the brand or with shopping with your SA. And I have become hooked on certain things, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like, if you are a very logical shopper too, it doesn't necessarily mean that I will always be returning to keep buying, right? Like I'll just use my Tiffany lock as an example. Like it was already not cheap to begin with, the introductory price. Obviously now is like so much more. And I have a really good relationship with the SA that sold me this lock. He's lovely to work with, and he always sends me updates on new collections. But I have been resisting going back because I like, nothing against him, right? But you just look at the prices, right? Not only did this piece go up, but like all the new pieces that come out, all the new collection that comes out starts at a price that is already quite high. And it's just so hard to make that one step to like go and like just try it out, right? Because the moment you try it out, you're gonna like it. You're gonna like something. You're gonna want to buy it. And so, yeah, it'll be a challenge. I don't know how necessarily they will do, because I think someone who is super practical and logical won't just end up buying a lot of just the cheaper category items, right? It doesn't make sense. That's not how it works, right? Maybe it made sense before when the trend was to consume, to collect, right? To have, I don't know, 20, 30 card holders in different colors. Maybe that made sense back then, but no longer, right? So I don't know if it would necessarily work now.
Yeah, so they are probably re-strategizing and seeing. I don't know. We'll see. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you don't need to sell and you can hang on, maybe it's just the time right now that it's a bit meh. For us who have it and want to use it and trying to get cost per wear out of it, there is many challenges. It could be internal challenges, like I don't want to be standing out, but at the same time it could also be, it's not the right time and place because it's not safe. So there's just a lot of things that's happening that you just cannot enjoy your thing. So the moral story, if you don't need to sell it, just hang on, because it might change.
Do what's right for you. Sometimes it is still the right thing to sell certain things, even if it's a classic, timeless, very hard to get, blah blah. Sometimes maybe because you already have so many of the same things, and it makes sense to sell some of them. So yeah, always just evaluate for yourself, right? It's hard to judge for everyone, I think, but generally speaking, right, if you already have a somewhat tight collection, then maybe it does not make sense to let go.
Tiffany stocks.
Oh, did I type it wrong? I thought I already changed it. Let me see. Because
Yeah, we got. I don't know why we called her Maggie for a moment, but it's Maddie.
I called her Maggie. Oh yeah, it's Maddie. I don't know. Here, I changed it. I already changed it somewhere, but anyway, I typed it in 2 places. Sorry about that. Okay, I changed the title. It is MaddieShops. I don't know why. In my head, I was calling her Maggie, but her name is Maddie. Duh. It's MaddieShops. Oh, okay. Sandra. Did we show this one yet? Sandra's top 5. Chanel Kelly, BCA, 5 motif bracelet, Chanel 22 in a different color, Chanel 22 small in black, Cartier mini yeah, Panthère watch. Nice, Liz.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm almost at the end of the comments. Yeah, many people are not doing well financially and hungry. Newport Beach, Fashion Island, we had another crime within the last 2 months. Within 2 months' time. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of very weird crimes happening lately. I follow, of course, mostly the ones that happen in Vancouver, but oh my God, okay. 1 month ago, I was
Yeah,
being
I read this.
followed.
I saw this one. Wow.
Bloomingdale's, my watch alone, right? Wearing Chanel head to toe. Had to be escorted. Oh my, yeah. I think that is partially. I mean, we're not saying it out loud until now, but I feel like there is a sentiment of some people not feeling safe with wearing their luxury. That's probably part of it too. And I feel like probably a lot of what's been happening in Toronto is also affecting some people there as well. Because so my mom was telling me that because in Toronto there's a big community of Chinese people there. I think they have the biggest there in Vancouver. We have the biggest community of Chinese people in Canada, and like there are certain part of towns that we used to like because I used to live in Montreal, right? We sometimes would drive to Toronto just to like eat and shop, just day trip or maybe 2 days. And those are the neighborhoods that we used to just like visit because they would have like the Asian shops, stuff that we don't have in Montreal. And my mom was telling me that those areas are being targeted because there's a lot of Asian people, and the Asian people like to buy nice things, right? Apparently. And yeah, they're being targeted, and it's so scary the way my mom was telling me too. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful for sure. And I think that is why a lot of people are not necessarily even stepping back from buying, but they're just not wearing their things. And even to protect your things at home is also another challenge, right? Some people get followed, and oh my gosh, it just sounds terrible. Anyways, yeah, it was a really fun discussion. In a way, it's I have to believe that it's just it's just a cycle. It's just like this time, and it will come back. It will bounce back, and let's hope it does because, man, we need it to be. But we'll see you next week on Kat's channel, and I think it's
Oh, your channel still. Oh,
no.
me. Wait, is it me?
Oh, maybe it's mine. Maybe it's mine.
It's
My
your
channel. On my channel, and it's for members. But yeah, check out our calendars on our community, and yeah, be subscribed to us to keep up to date, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.